Hello everyone, how are you today? It's Sharon here from the blog I Restore Stuff, ready for another fun DIY stenciling project with Essential Stencil here today. Let me just turn my computer, refresh the page so I can see comments coming up, but let me know, hi Martha, let me know when you're on, say hello, and let me know where you're tuning in from. Where are you watching from today? We do have people all over the world watching these Essential Stencil lives, but as you know, mostly North America, because in the USA that's where the shipping goes to for stenciling. But even if you are in any other part of the world, you can get the very best stenciling tips and ideas and inspiration right here on the Essential Stencil page. So if you missed it earlier, I'm Sharon from the blog I Restore Stuff, and you can follow me on Facebook or Instagram, YouTube. I have lots of YouTube tutorials on DIY tutorials and that kind of thing, on furniture painting, upcycling, sign making, all of the things. I love it. Hi guys, thank you so much for saying hello. We've got Paula, Danielle, Cheryl, Charlene. Wow, so many of you joining today. Thank you so much for watching. Just gonna make sure I can see all of the comments because some of them only some of them come through on the phone there. So while I'm getting sorted, I'll just point you down and show you. No, I won't. I'll just hold them up. We're going to be working on some fun canvas upcycling today. So I've found some thrift store canvases. This one hasn't even been opened yet. I should open that now. It's still in its plastic. Just a canvas that I found at a thrift store. How much was it? A couple of dollars. So I'm going to be stenciling on and showing you how to upcycle a canvas on today's live. So enjoy, and don't forget that if you're watching the replay, you've got a second chance of winning stencil prizes. And stay tuned for those of you who are live, because at the end, Essential Stencil always gives away 3 prizes to 3 lucky winners. So stay tuned for that. Just trying to find my live here on the page. Here we go. And comments would be coming up soon. Hang on a second. So I just found these at, we call them op shops here in Australia. In fact, I did a Instagram reel and a TikTok yesterday. If you're on any of those, you can follow me at I Restore Stuff on any of those. And I did a reel showing you our Australian op shops and me going around in the store finding some things ready for our stenciling live today. So if you're on Instagram, don't forget to go and have a look at that reel. Go to my profile and click on the little reels button and you'll be able to see that of me going into an op shop thrift store and finding these fun things, as well as a few other things that I'll be using to paint or upcycle. Good evening, Mary, and hi Nancy from Minnesota. Hi Judy, little wave there from Judy, and Paula. Hi Susan from California, woo! All right, Patricia says this is her first live that she's seen from Essential Stencil. Well, thank you so much for watching. And Paula's asking, what's an op shop? Is that like a dollar store? No, so it's OP stands for opportunity. I think it's short for opportunity shop. So it's a charity store, really. So in Australia, that's what we call them. Salvos is where I went to, the Salvation Army thrift stores. We just call them salvos. In fact, Australians tend to put a lot of O's and shorten words and put an O on the end for all of our funny, that's one of our funny Australianisms. So I am from Australia, but here we are today showing you some thrift store finds and how to upcycle some canvases. I've got this gorgeous print. I really like that actually. It's just an old canvas, but I'm going to show you, and I'm still undecided whether I should put something on that one, but I'll show you my ideas. So when I walked past this one yesterday in the thrift store, it's just very plain, very simple, and I thought it would be perfect for what I'd love to do using, and I've got the link for the stencils I'll be using today in the description of the live. The Fruit of the Spirit 12 by 16 stencil set. So look at this, see the love, well, we've put joy at the top because it's a shorter word than love, okay? We all know that it goes love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. But isn't that amazing how all those words kind of, oops, I'm going the wrong way, come down here like a tree. In fact, when my mum was here when we first opened all my stencil packets from this new collection, and she said, that looks like a tree. You could do a Christmas tree. So you could actually do a Christmas tree and do some on the other side, or just paint the tree on the other side, and have the line in the middle. You could even repeat those words on the other side, or have them mirror backwards words. That'd be fun, something different. Anyway, so how cool is that going to look? I'll show you. We'll pick a nice bright boldy color. I'm thinking red to go over the top of that black and white. So we'll do that today. And on this one, so this is another one I found, just a canvas from a thrift store. This was unopened, still sealed in its packet for a couple of dollars. And it's got this, I think you call that batik art. Is that what you call that? It's like an Indian style painting or design, you know? Reminds me of those mandala designs. But I found that and I thought, hey, there's a beautiful blank space right in the center that would be also perfect for stenciling on. So on the back of our Fruit of the Spirit stencils, we've got all of those beautiful words and symbols that we can use. And I thought I'll pick some of those. So you'll have to stay tuned to see which words I pick to go into the center of that one. So let's get started with our red canvas today. Hi, Danielle. She says, I love your ideas. Always great watching your lives. Thank you so much. Yeah, I did find some cool items. If you saw me on my reel on Instagram or my TikTok, you'd see some of the other things I found that were interesting. I don't have any just sitting around here, but little wood items to paint, baskets, things like that I like to pick up. I've got a shop booth in our local antique centre that I sell my painted furniture and signs from. So, okay, let's just turn us down here so we can have a look at our sign. Oh, I can flip that really down a long way there and I can hardly see it. I've got to bend down to see it. But I'm kind of watching it on the computer beside me so that I can see your comments as well. Yes, join in the conversation. Share this live if you would. Sprinkle the love. That would be amazing. All you have to do is hit that little share button. Sprinkle it around to your favorite group, or tag a friend, or share it to your personal profile just to let others know that we are live today. So I'm going to share that to my I Restore Stuff page. If you missed that earlier, I'm from the blog I Restore Stuff, and I upcycle furniture and decor and things like that. So, all right, so that's the first one we're going to use today. Every Essential Stencil set comes with a set of instructions. So if you're new to stenciling, we've got you covered. All right, so I'm going to put this right about there. And I think that I'll bring it to the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to bring it down so that the words are down here. And I'm centering those last two words. I'll center those. But I do think I will tape this and move it over the Galatians 5:22 verse. I think I'll align that with the rest of the words. Might be a little bit difficult to see. That's just to remind me not to paint on there. And I'm just going to tape the top up a little bit. Now, when you're doing canvases or stenciling on a canvas, it's always a good idea to put something behind the canvas to just stabilize it a bit more. I'm just going to see if I can hold. So see how you've got that there. Look at that. There's the price. $3 it was. Put something in the center there. I'll see if I tried to find something that would fit, but I don't think this book is going to fit. No. This canvas is fairly strong, so we'll just see how we go without using something behind it. But just a thought that you may want to do that. Here's some packaging material that I've got ready to offload. Let's see if I can fit that in the picture. To offload my paintbrush on, because when we're stenciling, it's always a good idea to offload your brush. And I'm just going to use one of the Essential Stencil brushes. You can always get these too. Now, use my code IRestoreStuff and you can get 10% off anything you order from the Essential Stencil shop. And these stencil brushes, they come in a set of 4 different sizes, and you can get all of those at essentialstencil.com. Essential has put in the comments a link for that stencil if you don't have that one already. It's from the latest collection. Now this is, I'm just using a furniture paint because I sell furniture paint here in Australia because that's what I do, I upcycle furniture. This is the colour Cranberry from Fusion Mineral Paint. In the USA you can get that from your local Fusion retailer or via my Amazon store. Shop list of tools and things I use for stenciling. You can find it there, and I can put that link in the comments, or just ask me that you need, tell me that you need that link and I'll pop it in later. I do go back and try and answer your questions. So if you do have questions as we go, let me know. All right, so we've got the words sort of lined up. I've offloaded, if you can see that, I've offloaded the paint on my little piece of paper here. Now I'm ready to stencil, and I'm going to just use a swirly motion. We may need a couple of coats of this. It might be that the red is sometimes a little bit opaque. Do you call it opaque? It's a little bit see-through, a bit light on colour. So I think we may go over with a couple of coats. And while it's drying its first coat, I can work on my other stencil, the other canvas that I found. If you've just joined us, let me know, and we are working on upcycling some canvases. If you saw the description of our live before you joined today. What colour did I choose? It's a red, Cranberry is the name of the colour. It's just a deep dark red. I love this colour red. It's a good Christmassy one too. And the stencil we're using today is the Fruit of the Spirit stencil set, and you can use my code IRestoreStuff and get 10% off not just this stencil but anything on the Essential Stencil site. Oops. Ah! That was nearly a disaster if I had have gotten it over here on the rest of the canvas. So if you do have questions, let me know. Paula said, I love the name of your page. Yeah, I restore stuff. It was funny trying to find a name for my business. I just thought, well, that's what I do. So I mainly upcycle and restore furniture. But then I do get phone calls from Google My Business for people asking if I can restore their antiques of all sorts of things, and I have to refer those people to the experts because I'm not an antique restorer, you know. So it's very tricky trying to pick a name for a business sometimes. Okay, the reason we are offloading most of the paint off the brush is to have as little on the brush as possible so that we can swirl it around or stipple the paint on, and it stops it from going underneath the stencil because that's what you would call bleeding, and you'll get really furry kind of edges. Now I can see these letters are not covering the black, the paint. It's not covering those black areas of the flower that I'm stenciling on. So I'm going to have to do a second coat after this one. So we'll let this dry, and then I've got another couple of canvases that I bought yesterday at the thrift store, or the op shop, as we call it here in Australia. Who was that? Paula said, love the idea of something from a store-bought canvas. Yeah. There's probably even dollar store canvases, you know, that have really cheap artwork that's just very plain and simple like this one that you can add words to. So yeah, I always love a good thrift store find. Do enjoy going op shopping. Who else loves thrifting? Rhonda says she's going to catch the replay from the beginning. Yes, do that, Rhonda. You can always catch the replay. Don't forget that at the end we'll be drawing 3 lucky winners for our live today to receive some stencil products. So don't miss out on that. Stay tuned. Join in the conversation because that's where a lot of the fun happens, and that's where we'll choose our winners from. Essential Stencil will do the picking. Hi Dawn, just joining. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Australia, in Queensland. Okay, so I'm not going to lift that up. Well, if I do, I probably will. Hang on, let me just show you, and then I can put it straight back down. Let's see just what that looks like now. Isn't that going to look great? But I feel like we need a little bit more red on those black areas. So I'm going to pop it back down and let that dry. I could even actually use the hairdryer, but I'll just see how we go in a minute. I'll pop it aside and I'll work on the next one. Okay, I'm going to be working on this one, but I want your ideas for this one, okay? So I thought for this one, I'll give you time to think about it. We could add some little wording right in here, or we could just leave it, you know, totally up to you. Or you could actually do, you know, big bold letters right across here. But some of the fun ones I thought of, and I haven't listed these stencils sets on here, but you can find them on the Essential Stencil page. There's all sorts of little wording and things that you can find. This Easter, He Is Risen tags, the mini tags, I thought would be great for something here. Something like Amazing Grace or He Is Risen. Those kind of words would fit right here. The one I thought too from Valentine's truck tags was this one that says Love Never Fails. I thought that would fit perfectly. Just coming down that curtain there, a nice bright feature. Just adding a little extra to your signs. So we might do that one afterwards. Or, so there's a couple of other things here. In the Christmas tag set, the Dear mini tag set, we have the word believe right here. That would also fit nicely coming down the curtain. But let's see. I'm thinking Love Never Fails, but let me just take this one out, these out of here. Amazing Grace was another one that I thought would be great. But it doesn't quite fit. I probably would leave the wreaths off. I was thinking if we do Amazing Grace, we could do Amazing Grace and then put the wreath top and bottom, you know, of the words, if that makes sense. So I think we'll choose from either Amazing Grace from the He Is Risen set or Love Never Fails. Tell me which one you think I should do while we are going on with this one. Okay, so I'm just going to pop the lid on my red paint because we're not going to be using red on this. That would really clash. But I do need to save my brush for when I do the second coat. So I'm just going to pop it in a wet cloth so that it doesn't dry out. Let me see. Someone says Love Never Fails, Amazing Grace, Love Never Fails. Love Never Fails is winning so far. I think so too. Amazing Grace. That'll be cute with the wreath. Love fits better, I think. Yeah, I think Love Never Fails could be the winner there. All right, next we are going to be working on this one and using the other stencil that comes with this set. So it's a 2-pack, Fruit of the Spirit. Here it is here. You can see that there. Comes with the 2 stencils. This is the second one with all of these beautiful words on it. And so I'm just going to start stenciling here, and I think I might put a book behind the canvas. So because we've got that gap in here, the canvas can sort of press down while you're trying to stencil. So if I lay a book underneath that, it might help it be a little more steady, and I can kind of see where it's at. Okay, so usually I'm a bit of a farmhouse trend girl, but we're going bright and bold today. We've got the red on the other canvas. Which way are we going? And I think I'm going to go this bright peacock colour. This is another furniture paint that I sell here in Australia. So if you're from Australia, this is Artisan Mineral Paint. And it's a bright, bold, green colour. I feel like it'll just be nice and bold with this. We'll see, hey? We'll see how we go. And first of all, I'm going to tape off the stencil that I'll be using. So I'm going to use the word grace. I'm going to pop that grace. I'm hoping this fits. Grace and Mercy I'm going to add on here, and then I'll put the cross in the middle for the and. So I think I'll start with the word grace. We don't want it to hit up on the little white lace area there. Just making sure you guys can see that properly. Do I need to move it down or up? I need to move it up. That's it. Make sure my book's in the right place. Ah, shuffling. There we go. Okay, got the word grace, but what I want to do is tape the word comfort, and I'm just taping this to my hand to just lose a bit of the stickiness so it's not too tacky and doesn't, so it comes off easily. Oh, I probably didn't do a long enough tape. Let's do it for this one. This word here, we'd want to tape the words around it so I'm not going to get that on there. I need a longer piece of tape for the word comfort. It is a gorgeous colour canvas, isn't it, Judy? I didn't paint the canvas, no. So if you've just joined me, I found these canvases at a thrift store when I went shopping yesterday, and wanted to show you some ideas for upcycling. Maybe you've got a canvas in your house, an existing canvas, or maybe you want to buy something that's from the dollar store that's just a plain simple design. And when I found this one, I thought it's got this perfect area ready for any kind of wording that you want in there. So I'm painting it with this bright greeny colour, and this one may need 2 coats also. I'm not sure just yet. I don't know if you can see here, but I'm maybe down here. I'm just offloading the paint. It's very, might have to mix it a little bit. Sometimes when you're using chalk paints or furniture paints or any acrylic paints really, they just need, this is a mineral paint, just needs a lot more mixing to get that thickness happening. So the tape is just painter's tape. Always use a painter's tape so that it's not sticking too much. It is a beautiful canvas, yeah. Grace and Mercy is what I'm using to put on this one. And so sometimes you'll dip into your paint and it could be a little bit watery on top, so mixing it right through will help you find the thickness on there. Sorry if you can't see this, it's off camera a bit. I'm just gonna, there we go, it's a little bit better. And this one may need 2 coats as well, but we've got a hairdryer here to help us dry it if we need to. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, we can't see too much of that bright greenness, so I will probably need a 2nd coat. That's okay. We can do that. It's just easy enough to just take this off, let it dry, and then lay it straight back down over the stencil again. What's going on? Let me see. Someone said it looks slightly off. Does it? Have I got it crooked? Or do you mean, I think that I've got it right. Let's see when we lift it up. Oh. Stencil looks crooked. Ooh. Someone asked, does the stencils have an adhesive back? No, they don't. I just hold them still or use some painter's tape to hold them on there. So the canvas is kind of soaking up a little bit of that paint there, so I am going to have come on with some more. Oh, maybe not. It's not too bad. Okay, I'm doing this upside down, everybody. Is it crooked? Is it in line? Let me know. Could be just the angle of the canvas if I hold it up there. Does that look okay? Yeah, maybe the canvas is kind of wonky. Let me hold it up and see for myself now. I think it's okay. And it's script writing, and we can be kind of forgiving with script writing, can't we? Okay, now looking for the cross, because I'm going to use the cross sort of like an and symbol, and then we'll put Mercy down the bottom, but maybe I should put Mercy first and then I can center the cross. So I'll just move this up a little bit, making sure you can see it there. And if you've just joined me, I just found some canvases at a thrift store and we're showing you how you can upcycle them today very easily. Just going to tape off those areas that I don't. Oh, thank you. Everyone's saying it looks good. Awesome. So it might have just been the angle that it was at. Brenda says, I made the flower canvas like you made. I made it for your mum. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. Okay, so let's put this on here. Turn the corner. Oops, tore my tape up a little bit too much. Put some tape over here. So these are just areas that I don't want the brush to hit these areas when I'm painting it on. That dove would actually look cute too, but I think I'll just do words because we've got all the fancy design around it also. Okay, so dipping back into my paint. This is just a furniture paint. If you've just joined us, we are just painting with acrylic paints on an existing canvas that I found in a thrift store right here in Australia. And if you're on my Instagram page or my TikTok account, you'll be able to find me there. I restore stuff and I show you some fun tips for finding things. It's called op shopping here in Australia, so finding things at thrift stores like canvases and that kind of thing so that you can upcycle them. I'm just offloading the brush down here. Yes, Ron Becky. Is that you, Becky? So many good and usable symbols on this stencil. Yeah, you're so right. There's lots of fun uses for them. You can just, you know, pick out the cross and put it anywhere. Pick out the praying hands and put it next to some other words on another stencil that you might have in your collection. Don't forget that any of the stencils you purchase from Essential Stencil, if you use the code I restore stuff at the checkout, you'll save 10%, which is great. Good little saving for everybody. And you'll see each of the ambassadors going live every day of the week. We've got 5 days of the week that we have 5 lives from different ambassadors. So don't forget to catch some of the other ambassadors, see what they're making and creating this week. Okay, so here is this one. And it's not too bad. I probably will go over that a second time, but here's the word mercy. So we've got grace, mercy. If I move that down to the book, I've got a book behind the canvas so that it gives it a sturdy base for me to paint on. And then we'll go take a look at this other one. All right, move my paint out the way. And here's our cross. Now, this is the trick, is going to be getting this cross in the center of the words, because now my vision is kind of everywhere. So grace is here, mercy there. Hopefully I've centered them. The cross is going to be around about there. Let's just have a good guess. Anyone else love measuring, or are you a guesser too? I just tend to eyeball things and have a good old guess. Okay, using some painter's tape to tape off some of these words so that my brush doesn't hit them again. Yeah, it's a peacock colour. Well, that's the name of the colour. Someone was asking about that. Oop. Yep, Trisha tends to just eyeball. Hi, Henny. Rhonda said, never thought about stenciling on a canvas that's finished. Oh, glad I could introduce you to something new, something fun. Maybe next time you're at a thrift store, you guys will have a little think about, wow, that could be something, instead of just passing something by. It's funny, I see a lot of things now in thrift stores and charity shops, even just in your normal everyday cheap stores or stores. And you see things through the eyes of, what could I use, what stencil could I use that on? What stencil could I put on that? Oops, I just lost a bristle in the pot of paint. Okay, so dipping my brush in again, laying it off on the edge. And offloading as much of the paint as I can. You could also use that shadowing technique that I've done before on some of these words on your canvas to make them pop out, especially if it's against, like that other one was over the top of an existing image, not in a space like this. You can use a shadowing technique to kind of make that stencil pop out, stand out a bit more. Okay, that was quick and easy. And these other ones were touch dry, so if you're worried about the stencil going down on top of those other words that I've just painted, the furniture paint tends to dry fairly quickly, so that looks great, even as it is. I probably will go over that a second coat though. So let's have a look at our other canvas that we found at the thrift store. Now let's see, has someone got a space at the back for this book? Okay, this is, if you've just joined me, here's another canvas that I found at a thrift store, or as we call them over here, op shop. And it's already fairly busy as it is, but we had a little vote before with all the people here in the comments. And yeah, actually that cross could look cute here too. We had a little vote before, and I think it's Love Never Fails was the winning thing that we could put here. You could just leave that as it is. It looks a gorgeous little antique vintage scene. But if you're wanting this to stand out, be a little bit bold, you could do something like this. And just add a simple wording on that. And I'm going to show you the other one that we started with in a minute because I'll be doing a second coat on it. Let's pop my lid back on this one. And I think I'm going to go with just a black. You could do, you know, a chocolate or a dark brown. I'll start with black anyway. I could actually add something to it as a base, you know, or use the black as a base and then add something to it as a second coat later on. Okay, pop my brush in my wet cloth here for my second coat later. And this one's got fairly small words, so I'm going to use the small half, is that a ½ inch, I guess that's called, Essential Stencil brush. And these brushes, you can get 10% off these also. Now I'm just going to make sure I have to turn it around for myself to make sure I think it was a bit off. And now these words will be off-centered to the canvas, but I'm trying to make them centered to that curtain that's coming down the window there. So let me just see. I've got to fit the word fails in there. Just want to make sure it's whoop, I just made it go crooked. Just trying to make sure it's straight up and down. Okay, hopefully that's got it. So we are, if you've just joined us, we are upcycling thrift store canvases simply and easily with Essential Stencils. Yeah, everyone raves about the brushes, so if you don't have a set of brushes, add them to your next lot of stencils in your order, and you'll use my code I Restore Stuff and get 10% off. I feel like it's still got a bit too much on the brush. Always practice your stenciling. If you're worried about that you're always getting bleeding underneath your stencils, just practice on a piece of cardboard or paper. I showed you how to do that last week, so if you missed last week's live, go check that out. Each of us ambassadors, in the Essential Stencil video tab, you'll find here, we each have a playlist of all of our lives in there, so you'll see mine from last week in there, or you can scroll back and have a look from last Wednesday night and see all the practicing that I did on cardboard just to get the design ideas correct. Yes, Brenda says that's a pretty canvas on its own. It is, and I was really tempted. I'm kind of, was a bit, I don't know whether I should put something on here, but hey, it was only a couple of bucks, so no loss really. Gives me an idea to paint with, an idea to give you guys. And what if it fails, huh? It's only a little thing. Love never fails. That's right. There you go. Tell myself. All right, so there we go. Look at that. Isn't that cute? So we've just added a little bit of extra to this already beautiful canvas. with just a simple wording. And that Love Never Fails is from, and the other idea we had, if you've just joined us, was using, oh, thank you so much for sprinkling, guys, and sharing our live. That's amazing. Thank you for all the hearts. This was the other idea, was to use this Amazing Grace and then put the wreath above, on top and above. That would have fit there nicely also. But the Amazing Grace comes from, the Amazing Grace comes from the He Is Risen tag set, but the Love Never Fails comes from the Valentine's truck tags. So if you don't have that set already, just go to essentialstencil.com and type in the search bar, Valentine's truck mini tags or He Is Risen tags, if you're interested in those. So let's just have another look at that one that we started with so that I can finish doing that second coat and we can take a good look at that. It should be completely dry by now, so if you missed the beginning of our live, here it is. And my book is not going to fit under that one. Here it is. We've got all of the fruits of the Spirit down here, and I also forgot to put that Galatians 5:22 verse down the bottom. Let's start with that. Well, I've got to shift it over, so I'll do the second coat here first, and let me just have a little peek. It's looking okay so far, but we do need those black lines, so if you can sort of see through underneath it, it just had a flower design on there, and I've gone just straight over the top of it because it's a nice, simple, really simple design. It really lent well to just stenciling some words over the top. And especially this size of a design. These stencils are the 12 by 16 is the size of the actual stencil. So anything around that size is going to look great. It's going to fit well. Okay, so this is kind of filling in and adding a little bit more to the stencil. Stay tuned, guys, because at the end we will pick winners of 3 Essential Stencil sets. And if you're watching the replay, you can comment the word replay for a chance to win within 24 hours after our live is live. But I hope you're enjoying this today and thinking of some other ideas. You may even have some artwork or canvases around the house that you could use. Does anyone have like a huge family photo canvas? You know, I've got one in our house that's big. It's really large. It's quite old now. It was when the kids were little. I have 4 children that are all young adults now. And imagine a big family canvas and, you know, along the bottom having some kind of verse or something like that stenciled on there. That would be a fun idea also. Like Elisa, it's amazing how someone's junk becomes our treasures. And especially with ES, exactly. Essential Stencils. Okay. I'm starting to feel that canvas go a little bit, you know, dinted in, and I wish I had something that would hold it a little bit more steady. Like I had the book under the other two, but this book is a little bit too long and so it wouldn't fit underneath. The black is covering a little bit, but not super well. That's okay. We could do a third coat also. I may try that later after the live, but we'll just show you what we've got so far with this second coat. So, Robbie says, I've never found anything like these canvases in a thrift store. Really? Yeah, well, I hadn't either until yesterday. So you just never know your luck, do you, with thrifting? You can find some good finds one week, and then the next week you kind of, yeah, there's nothing here. Nothing inspiring. But hopefully you never know. You might just look again with different eyes next time you go to, whoops, I hope I don't have too much black in there. Next time you go to the thrift store, look among the canvases a little bit longer and just have a look, see if there's something that could inspire. Some people have done those photo canvases with large images of photos. This one looks like it was just a canvas of a painted flower and works perfectly for this. So when I'm finished this word, I'll just do that verse, the verse address, whatever you call it, from the Bible. Little verses, call them addresses. It's where you'll find it. So I'll take the tape off here and just move it across slightly. Here we go. How's that? We've got love, joy, love, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. Isn't that gorgeous? So now I'll just pop this Galatians 5:22. I want to line it up with here. You could center it, you could line it up wherever you like, but I'm just going to line it down with the bottom of the words here, and then we'll be finished and pick our winners. So don't go anywhere. I might just pop that there just in case, and just holding it really still. I haven't even dipped my brush in again because look how much is still left on the brush. So really, for those of you who are still worried about getting bleed through, you really hardly need anything on the brush. Hopefully I've lined that up with the letter L here, and I'll do its second coat a little bit later after my live. And if you're in the Stencil of the Month Club Facebook group, if you're not in the Stencil of the Month Club, you can use my code for 50% off your first month. There's that. But also if you're not in the club, you can... no, if you are in the club, I'll post a picture of my finished items later. The other place that I brought this out to, the other place that this stencil will fit great on is one of these notepads on about this size. I don't know if that's the right way up. Just going like this, right across. I've figured out that you could actually make the joy, love, peace, patience. You could spend time putting them all up the right way, but it actually kind of fits widthways across that. But you would probably have to bring them each closer together, so shift each line as it comes up. But here are our signs that we made today. Let me just pop you up so I can see. And we're about ready to pick some winners today. Just get myself organized. Is there any more questions? Please let me know. If you needed links to anything, let me know that too. And here is one of the ones we did today too. I do like that. I think that's cute. Just adds a little bit of extra that I would love in my home, because I just want people to know that love never fails. It's a great principle. Here's our winners today, guys. Dawn and Dreamer. That's a beautiful name. Dreamer Bowling. And I can't see the third name. I'm just going to have to click this. And Whimsically Knotted. I'd say that's a business name. Whimsically Knotted. Dawn, Hill, McNair, Dreamer Bowling. Congratulations, guys. Thank you so much for watching today. And here's our other one that we painted, Grace and Mercy. I'll probably do a second coat on that peacock color green. I thought that stood out nicely today. And these are all from the Fruit of the Spirit. Oh, we can't see joy very well, can we? So I'm going to definitely need something on that black. May even have to do some white, then go over it with the red again on some of those areas. I'll work on that, and I will have a picture up later on my page, I Restore Stuff, and also on in the Stencil of the Month Club. If you're in there, you can look out for that. So thank you guys so much for watching again, another live today, and I'll see you again next week. Let's see what we can get up to then. Bye for now.